Welcome back to another Project Rebirth review. In honor of Two-Face, we're going to do a two-part video. In part one, we're going to take a look at the Batman Missions Two-Face figure. In the second video, we're going to take a look at the Two-Face figure designed by Greg Capullo for DC Comics Designer Series. So for our first video, we're going to take a look at the Two-Face figure from Batman Missions. Looking at the front of the box, we can see the figure itself and a two-part weapon, half machine gun, half bayonet. And here's a look at the back of the box. The mission is entitled Double Danger, and it shows a battle scene between Batman and Two-Face. Alright, let's get Two-Face out of the box. Here's Two-Face out of the box, and this figure looks great. This figure is essentially a smaller version of the multiverse Two-Face, the current Rebirth look for the figure. Let's take a close-up look at the face. And here's a look at Two-Face's double-sided weapon. Let's take a 360 look at the Batman Missions Two-Face. Articulation for this figure is going to be the same as any other Batman missions, but let's take a quick review. The head can rotate all the way around, 360. Arms can extend at the shoulder to 90 degrees. Bend at the elbow to approximately 90 degrees. Rotate at the wrist, and flex inward slightly at the wrist. There is waist rotation. Legs can extend to 90 degrees. And bend approximately 90 degrees at the knee. There is no further movement at the foot. Let's compare this figure with some other Batman Missions figures. Here's Two-Face with Batman Missions Bane, and with a much taller Prison Breakout Bane. Here he is with the Batman Missions Riddler. And here's Batman Missions Two-Face with Harley Quinn. And here's a Rogues Gallery group shot with Bane, Harley Quinn, and the Riddler. With Batman Missions Stealth Glider Batman. With Batman Missions Night Jumper Batman. Here he is with the Batman Missions Prison Breakout Batman. With Batman Missions Robin. With the Batman Missions Prison Breakout Robin. And finally, here he is with the Batman Missions Nightwing. Alright, here's my final thoughts with regard to this Batman Missions Two-Face figure. The first point I'd like to make is just how similar the figure is in look and design to the multiverse Two-Face figure. And I'll pause the video now and show a picture. As you can see from that screenshot, that multiverse version of this Two-Face figure is much more expensive right now with an inflated price because it's a harder to find figure. I'll mention a few negatives, and there's not too many. Unfortunately, my figure came with some sloppy paintwork, and there's some either black or brown spots of paint on the forehead and on the two sides of the cheek, so that's a bit disappointing. I do think the gun is kind of silly looking. It's actually, the gun portion itself is quite cool, but somewhat oversized for this figure. But the blade portion doesn't really look like a blade, and overall that's kind of silly. I think it probably would have been better just to give this figure two guns as opposed to a double-sided weapon. Another negative is I really wish this figure came with a coin, either a small one that you could put in the figure's hand, or, as in the Multiverse figure, they actually just sculpted a coin into the hand. Either way would have been fine, but it seems criminal not to have a coin for Two-Face. Another negative would be that these Batman Missions figures are smaller than Multiverse, so it might not fit in as well if you have mainly Multiverse figures. All those negatives aside, this is a really cool figure, and I think the sculpt of this face, if not identical, actually looks a little bit better than on the Multiverse version. It's a sharp-looking figure. If you're only going to get one Two-Face figure, should it be this one? No, I don't think so. But if you're collecting the Batman Missions line and you see this figure, should you pick it up? Absolutely, hell yes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Project Rebirth review.
Take